Well, another week, another list of manga, and I gotta say it's a pretty good one this time. So as usual, let's get started with the collections. Uh, Honorable mentions, I have 5 honorable mentions again. Number 1, when I started this list in January, this would have went for 10 times this amount. But this is Made in Abyss, volumes 1 to 4. This was not a bid. This was a buy it now. $30 for 4 volumes. Like I said, back when I started, these 4 books would have probably sold together around for $300 US. But now, $30, $7.50 a piece. 7 Seas 2018. Honorable mention number 2 I thought was a fantastic deal. Now this is an older series. This is City Hunter. Volumes 1 through 5 went for $131.25. It's about $26.25 a piece. Now why I thought this was a really amazing deal was that it was originally put out by Gutsoon, which went defunct in, I believe, 2004. But this was originally published in 2003, so definitely out of print, although I hear Crunchyroll is putting out a new web series which reprints it, but it's not the actual manga. Honorable mention number 3 for me was kind of interesting. It was the Shindo L box set, volumes 1 through 3. This was sealed. It collects the TSF Monogatare Append series. $185, or about $61.67 per book, and that's from FAKKU Publishing in 2022. A lot of these naughty books are actually getting to be quite expensive. Honorable mention number 4 is a collection we've seen before. It's Monster Hunter Flash Hunter. This time it's volumes 2 through 5 and 7 through 9. So that's only 7 books, but it went for $400. That's like just over $57 per book. Viz Media 2016. And the final honorable mention, number 5 for collections, didn't quite make the list, but this one, I have to say, this is probably one of the most valuable series of the past, let's say, 5 years. And it's a complete surprise. It's Area of the Masterpiece, volumes 1 through 7, went for almost $440, almost $63 per book. Tokyo Pop 2019. So now we'll get into the actual top 5, and I do have a tie for the number 3 spot, but we'll start with number 5. And it's Higurashi, When They Cry, volumes 1 through 27, $480. That's $17.78 per book, Yen Press 2008. Now, I mentioned before there was this one seller with multiple collections, and they would always sell for $330. And I'd ask, like, once these are gone, what will happen to the price? And as you can see, this is $150 more than those collections used to be. So, number 4 for collections is Berserk Deluxe Edition, 1 through 13 sealed, went for $540. About $41.54 per book. Dark Horse 2019. These aren't too far away from the retail price of these deluxe editions. As I mentioned before, we do have a tie for number 3. Let's get to the first one. The first one is One Piece Gold Foil Editions, volumes 14 through 23. That's 10 books, went for $600, $60 a piece. Viz Media 2007. Now the thing is, and this just proves my point, that the first bunch of the gold foil editions for One Piece aren't as valuable as the later editions. I'll give you an example here that also went this week. This is volumes 1 through 11 of the One Piece gold foil. Went for $150, and that's actually 11 books. So what is tied with at number 3 is a classic series. It's Great Teacher Onizuka, GTO, volumes 1 through 25. Also went for $600, $24 per book. Tokyo Pop 2002. And speaking of classics, number 2 is probably one of the most highly regarded collections out there. It's Monster, volumes 1 through 16, and volume 18, they're missing 17, from Naoki Urasawa. So 17 books, $628. almost $37 each. Viz Media, 2006. The number one collection was a weird one for me. Like, I'm familiar with the comics portion of it, but I don't know why it went for so much money. It's Akira, volumes 1 through 12, the manga, and also the comics put out by Epic or Marvel, 1 through 38. Now, I will say, like, 37 and 38 of the comics are worth serious money, but only if they're in pristine condition, like a 9.8. These were not in pristine condition. These are rough. They've been read many times, obviously. But all those 50 books went for $880, or about $17.60 each. Yeah, it's a weird one. It's like there should be a little bit more to this mystery that I just can't piece together. Like, why are these ones from Japan going for this premium? But anyway, it was the number one collection, even though technically most of it is comics. It still had the manga in there, so I included it. Yay, now we get to singles, the individual volumes, and we had a huge number one. Now, I'm going to give you some hints, and I want you to try and guess it. Okay, first of all, it's a light novel. It's yaoi, and it's volume 8. And I can tell you right now, it went for $746.25. It's not a limited edition. It's just very rare. Anyways, let's get into the singles. I have 5 honorable mentions. Honorable mention number 1, Trigun, Volumes 1 and Volume 2, Trigun Maximum Volume 1, and the Dark Horse Sampler. Those 4 books went for $135, or $33.75 a piece. Dark Horse, 2003. I won't say the bottom's falling out of the Trigun market. There's actually a book in the top 10, but it's definitely not what it used to be ever since the announcement of the reprint. Honorable mention number 2 is Zombie Loan, Volume 13. Went for $67.50. That's Yen Press 2012. Honorable mention number 3. We've seen Volume 3 of this many times actually make the list, but let's not forget about it. It's The Empty Box and Zareth Maria. This time it's Volume 4 of the light novels. $70. Yen Press 2018. Honorable mention number 4 is the first time I've ever had this on a list. It's Peachy Peachy Pitch, Volume 6. Again, final volume of the series. $80. Del Rey, 2007. And my final honorable mention, number 5, A Certain Magical Index, Volume 8. The seller has it listed as unread. Went for basically $95. Yen Press, 2017. And now we get to the top 10 for the week. Let's start with an old favorite, Triage X, Volume 4, $111.11. Yen Press, 2013. There's a tie for number 9, and I told you there was some Trigun on the list, and indeed there is. It's Trigun Maximum Omnibus, Volume 2, went for $119.98. Dark Horse, 2014. What is tied with it, number 9, is one we haven't seen for quite a while, and I think the last time we saw it was actually factory sealed. This time it's not. It's Future Diary, Volume 6, $120. Tokyo Pop, 2010. Number 8 we have seen very recently, just as early as last week, as a matter of fact. It's Tenjo Tenge, Volume 11, the Full Contact 2-in-1 edition. This is the last book of the run, $129.99. Viz Media 2013. In case you're wondering, it sold for $100 last week, so it's actually gone up $30 in a week. Number 7 is also one we've seen before. It's been a while, but it's Go-Go Monster by Taiyo Matsumoto. $150. Viz Media 2009. I find number 6 incredibly hilarious because last week I showcased my collections that, don't sell for enough to make the collections list, but always sell very well. And actually, volumes 1, 2, and 3 went for $125 just last week. This time, volume 3, by itself, $175. It's Senran Kagura, or Skirting Shadows, volume 3, $174.99, 7Cs, 2016. It's starting to make that collection of all three of them for $125 look like a screaming deal. Number 5 is one we see a lot, and I think I'm actually going to put Trigun into the honorable mentions now of series that sell for money, and put this one actually on the list. It's The Freezing, the Omnibus, Volume 7 and 8, $188.47, 7Cs, 2016. Number 4 is one that's highly sought after. It's Ghost Hunt, Volume 11. What's impressive is it's basically 19 bids. So there's a lot of people who are always after this one. That's why I went for $192.50, Del Rey, 2010. Number 3. This is the first time we've ever had this series on the list, and what an impact. It just debuts at number 3. It's Gurren Lagann, Volume 6, $205. That's Bondi Entertainment, 2011. Number 2, we have had this one before. Maybe not this volume, but this series for sure. If there was anything I would ever want to see reprinted, it's this series. It's Ubel Blatt. This time it's Volume 6, $235, Yen Press, 2016. And finally, at number 1, just an astounding amount of money. It's Ainu Kasubi, Volume 8, which is actually a light novel. I had no idea that Ainu Kasubi was actually light novels. I thought it was manga, but $746.25. Originally put out by Digital Manga Publishing back in 2013. Looking at the spreadsheets, and we'll start with the collections as usual. Main Abyss, just whew, boy, that's really come down in value ever since they did the reprints. Nice to see some City Hunter, Area of the Masterpiece. I gotta say, of the last 5 years, that is probably one of the most valuable series to come out. I would also argue that The Empty Box and Zareth Maria, the light novels, put out in 2018, are still incredibly valuable as well. Nice to see some Higurashi When They Cry. Great Teacher Onizuka always has that hardcore following. A lot of people still love GTO. And the Akira was a lot of money, but again, it's one of those weird ones. I'm not exactly sure whether it should be an honorable mention or actually on the list. Let's get to the singles now. Trigun, like I said, it's kind of hurting, as you can see. Although the Trigun Maximum Omnibus Volume 2 did sell for $120. Haven't seen Future Diary Volume 6 for quite a while, but it usually goes for a lot of money. Peachy Peachy Pitch Volume 6 surprised me a lot. That was pretty valuable. The Senran Kagura Skirting Shadows Volume 3. Holy mackerel. As I mentioned before, Ubel Blatt, man, just please reprint that. And finally, like the Aino Kasubi, it's basically the later volumes. I think like 5 starts to get valuable, 6 is valuable, 7 is very expensive, and 8 is insane. Even on eBay, I had a look, and the other volume 8s are around the same price. So when they sell, they're going to sell for that much money. Anyways, thanks again for watching, everybody. See you next week, and talk to you later. Have a great week.